are NFTs selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you might be wondering, how can I get my hands on one of these valuable NFTs? Because this is a very tricky space. But in this video, I'm going to show you 3 methods on how you can find valuable NFTs. Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. This NFT painting of Italic Buterin sold for $141,000 worth of Ethereum. And you might be wondering, why would someone pay so much for a digital piece of art? And this brings us to method number 1. And that is either creating NFT art, being an influencer, or buying NFT art from a person of influence. Let me explain. This painting was created by someone named Trevor Jones. And this person has built up a reputation in the NFT artwork. So when they create a painting, people are pretty much buying the reputation. And also, when you have influence, when you have a platform, this is instant marketing. And we see this also with Rick and Morty's creator, Justin Roiland. Same thing. As soon as he creates a piece of art, people know about it and they trust his reputation. And this is something that we see in the regular art world. People aren't necessarily paying for what's on the paper. People are paying for the artist. And that's really what it is. And the same thing is happening here in the NFT art world. But not all of you listening are a person of influence or have a platform. But don't worry, I have you in mind and I'm going to tell you how to navigate this space. So Justin Roiland, who has a following, decided to create an NFT art collection. And of course, it's going to get instant marketing and it's going to sell. So if we go to Nifty Gateway, this is where he decided to list his collection. We can see that these items are all sold out. And if we click on this one over here, eligible bachelors, we can see that there are 100 pieces, but of course they have all been sold out. And this is an important concept of NFTs. They are non-fungible tokens. They are rare. Sometimes there's only 1 of 1. Maybe there's only 5 of 5. In this case, there are 100 of 100, and right now they are all sold out from the initial price. And the reason this is important is because investing in NFTs is much different than investing in regular cryptocurrency. If someone does all the research for a project, a cryptocurrency, and they say go ahead and buy it, you can go ahead and copy their trades. But remember, these NFTs are limited. If there's only 1 of 1 or 5 of 5, someone can't do all the research and then say, all right, go ahead, copy my trade and buy it, because they just have to buy it from you. So in this space, I am not telling you what to buy, but I want to teach you guys how to buy, because you will come across a lot of channels and they'll say, go ahead and buy this. But this is not how NFT investing works. It's more important to learn how to buy with these methods. So we're right now focusing on still method number 1, and that is either being a person of influence or buying it from a person of influence. So in this case of the Rick and Morty creator, it is now reselling on the market. We can see eligible bachelors, $4,000, $4,200, $5,000. But at this point, you might say, maybe I am too late. And if you are the person that is not the person of influence, you don't have a platform, the method I'm going to tell you right here is gaining traction from a person of influence. And let me show you an example. Logan Paul, of course, a person of influence, is going to release NFTs. Now, because you are aware of Logan Paul or maybe another celebrity and you follow their social media, you will know earlier than others that this person is going to release an NFT. Now, I'm not saying to go ahead and buy Logan Paul's NFTs. I'm telling you that I'm not going to be the one to buy them, but I'm using this as an example. So when they go ahead and they release it, you will be able to get it earlier than anyone else. But the risk here is you may buy an NFT that no one else wants. So yes, you might get it for a cheap price, but you may not be able to resell it after. So the method I want to speak about is gaining traction from influencers, as this can reduce your risk. So let's say Logan Paul releases his NFT and someone buys it for $100, and then right after someone buys it for $150, and then right after $200. You can see that it's gaining traction, and this may be a good entry point to get in and buy it, seeing that there is a trend that people are willing to pay more for it. But if you go in too early, like I said, you might just buy something that no one else wants. So you want to gain traction. We can see that Lindsay Lohan and Tyga the Rapper have immediate access, and they're already top sellers on Rarible, which is pretty crazy. But remember, we aren't the people of influence ourselves. So what we can do is follow those people of influence and we can gain traction. And sometimes you could become the person that is the person of influence in the crypto art world. Christie's auction house is going to sell NFT artwork from famous digital artist Beeple. Who is Beeple? Beeple is a man named Mike Winkleman, and he's a dad from Wisconsin who drives a piece of S Corolla, as this article states. This is just a regular person who has created his own influence and reputation within this digital world. So it is possible. You can create random art on Rarible, and maybe one day you will become this person and it will sell, but the likelihood is very low. It is a higher probability that you will be able to sell NFT artwork of value if you are purchasing it from someone who already has built that reputation. So again, I'm not throwing this out the window. You can go ahead and be the next Beeplemania or the next Mike Winkleman, regular guy who's created this platform, but again, low probability. Now the second method does not rely on the reputation of an influencer, but instead it involves the reputation of a platform. If we look at some of the most expensive NFTs sold, we can see they happen to sell within the same platforms. This NFT from Axie Infinity sold for $1.5 million. And we can see on this list here, there was another one from Axie Infinity that sold for $130,000. Over here, we can see an NFT from CryptoPunk sold for $747,000 called Alien. And this is what it looks like, right? This is Alien, this is on Larva Labs, and you can go ahead and you can go buy this. Also, I want to show you another platform where you can buy and sell, trade NFTs is OpenSea. If you go to OpenSea, you can go ahead and you can trade this same exact CryptoPunk. Same thing for CryptoKitties. OpenSea pretty much has everything you can think of. But most of these items within these platforms do not sell, right? Just because we see that this category of NFTs has high selling NFTs, majority of them do not sell. Some other ones we see are F1 Delta Time. This is a car racing game. NBA Top Shot, So Rare. So same thing here, what we learned in the first method is you can't just create any NFT within these platforms and expect to sell it for a high price, but you can follow the method of gaining traction. And I'm going to show you an example with NBA Top Shot. So NBA Top Shot is an NFT platform that is actually not built on Ethereum. It is built on the Flow blockchain by Dapper Labs. And you can go ahead and buy and sell these NFTs. The thing is, a lot of these are very expensive at the moment. We see these LeBron James NFTs selling for $100,000. So the method we would use with gaining traction is go to this LeBron James NFT. Of course, we're too late, but I'm going to show you how you can do this with newer NFTs that are not at a high price yet. If we go back into the history of this NFT, let's say we were early in the space and we were following, we can see the first sale price was $1,500. Then shortly after, it was sold for $1,800. Then it was sold for $2,000. And it would be around this time that we would see this thing is gaining traction. So I wasn't the first person to buy it. Maybe if I bought it at $1,500, I overpaid and no one will buy it. But after a few of these sales, we can see that people are actually buying it and it is gaining traction. And it is somewhere here that we'd want to enter. Of course, some of these prices might be too high for certain people. But this is the truth about NFTs. It's a game where you pay to play. There's a misconception that NFTs is just you jump in, you create art, and boom, you become rich. But that's not how it works. The only time that works is if you are the person of influence and you have a platform to market. If you are not that person, unfortunately, you will have to pay to play if you want to get your hands on one of these valuable NFTs. So if we go to NBA Top Shot, right? And we look at lower prices of current NFTs, we can see these things are trading for $2, $4, $6. This is the time where we want to go into one of these NFTs and start looking for traction. Are people going to buy it? Now, this can be done on any platform. This can be done on Rarible. This can be done on OpenSea. Every time you're looking at an NFT, it will show the history. It will show what people were bidding. It will show what people were paying. And if you're getting in early enough and paying attention and you see that one NFT was sold for 100, then 150, then 200, then 300, then 800, you can see it's gaining traction and that would be your entry point. So far, the first two methods heavily rely on reputation. Again, if we're here at the art world, we can see that even Elio Trades, who's a crypto YouTuber, is up here. He has a platform, he is an influencer, so he is able to sell his products. If we go onto virtual worlds, we see that a product on Decentraland will likely sell for more than one of these other platforms. If we look at trading cards, same thing. Something on SoRare or Gods Unchained is likely to sell more than from one of these other platforms. So there's a lot of reputation involved, either reputation of the person or reputation of the platform. But this third method is not so much relying on reputation, and that is the space of domain names. If we go onto OpenSea, we can see that some of these domain names have already sold for a high price. And something to notice here is that they're all very short names. Amazon.eth, wallet.eth, crypto.eth. And what we learned from the previous domain bubble, I guess you would call it, is that people are willing to pay a lot of money for a valuable domain. We see that .coms have sold for millions of dollars. Business.com, $345 million. LasVegas.com, $90 million. CarInsurance.com, $49 million. So coming back to OpenSea, the key here for a domain name is to buy something with one word. Sometimes you can get by with two words, as we have seen with carinsurance.com. So as you can see, some of the most valuable domain names to date are very short. Google.eth, Apple.eth, com.eth. Sometimes you can get by and buy a double two-word domain name, but three-word domain names likely won't be valuable in the future. But it's not over here. Now you're banking on which of these ending domain names will be the winner. There's .eth, there's .crypto, there's .zilf or .zilka, and there are others out there. We saw it with .com. Cars.com is worth a lot of money, but cars.net is not. So the gamble that you're making here is guessing which one of these domain names will be the winner in 20 years. Will it be .crypto? Will it be .zilka, .eth, or maybe something else? But it doesn't stop there. Now you still have to get a name that is very short. And there's two methods here. Again, we're going to take the gaining traction method. If you want a very valuable domain that is one word, something like jobs.eth, unfortunately, you will have to go to the open marketplace and pay a premium for it. Or you can start from scratch. You can go to ENS domains and you can buy a .eth, or you can go to unstoppabledomains.com and you can buy a .crypto or a .zilka. But the downside here is that you're going to have a very hard time getting your hands on a very simple domain. Again, something like cars.eth or basketball.crypto. These are the more premium ones that have already been bought, and you will have to get them on an open marketplace. As you can see from all of these methods, it doesn't tell you what to buy, but it shows you how to buy. And something that we have seen across all three of these methods is that gaining traction may be your best bet. Remember, getting in too early, you might be buying something that no one wants, right? But if you're buying something that is gaining traction, it gives you an idea that there is value and that people want that. So if you have any other methods, maybe something I didn't explain in this video, I'd love to hear them, so please put them in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening.